I haven't spoken about it publicly before, and I thought with World AIDS Day at its 30th anniversary this year, it made sense for me to be brave enough, hopefully, to speak out about my journey. My name is Lloyd Russell-Moyle, I'm the MP for Brighton Kemptown. I'm HIV positive, and I have been so for almost 10 years now. When you are first diagnosed and you get that call from the clinic and the doctors, and they just say you need to come in, you know immediately something's wrong. And of course, as someone who was a gay man sexually active, that is one of those things that flash through your mind as well. The more people don't talk about it, the harder it is for everyone to talk about it. So I guess as an MP, it's my job to try and speak out about my experiences, but be an advocate for other people so they can be supported along that journey as well. Isn't it always scary if you stick your head above the parapet? The first was Chris Smith, who's a Labour peer and was a Labour minister. I would often think, well, he managed to do it, and he managed to get through. Being the second, I, of course, hopefully will be one of those people that members and people who want to get involved in politics can also look to and say, well, they've managed to do it and it hasn't held them back. Being HIV positive shouldn't hold anyone back in their life in any way, shape or form, and you need people to be role models for that, and I guess if I have to be that, then so be it. I'm a 32-year-old man, and World AIDS Day is 30 years this year. At the height of the epidemic for gay men in London, you were talking about 1 in 10, maybe 1 in 7 were HIV positive. A good proportion, about a third, had no idea. At that point, it was a death sentence. And that's the message that the government gave. But at the same time, what was happening is people were being denied drugs and denied treatment, and there was a fight. The community had to fight to be able to get the resources they needed to make them survive. They needed to fight often to even being allowed access to trials. There's an interesting kind of link to the tactics that are used then under a Conservative government and now under a Conservative government, using a trial as a kind of faux way to restrict a pill that could stop people catching HIV entirely. So the issues around how they've denied PrEP for people, which is the pill that can stop people getting HIV/AIDS, available in Wales under a Labour government, not available freely and unrestrictedly in England. And those things, they affect the life and death for me and people and loved ones that I know. One of the reasons that I wanted to talk about this now is because we've seen an absolute decimation of our health service, and we've made so much progress, so far, and the Conservatives want to rip the rug from under us. They want to cut public health, which is all sexual health services, by a further 80-odd million. But what the government is now proposing really threatens to destroy any of the progress that we have made, set us back years and years in public health and sexual health prevention. And what will that lead to? It will lead to a higher cost, of course, for the country, but it will lead to ruined lives. And that, of course, angers me politically, but it actually also scares me personally. It scares me personally because I think if they start attacking this bit of health, how long is it until they start attacking my health? As an MP, it is our duty to talk about things that affect our lives and therefore things that affect our constituents' lives. And Parliament is meant to represent different communities around the UK. And so I feel like I have a moral duty as an MP to make sure you're speaking out about my experiences that people can relate. I would like us to really start to turn the corner on the understanding of HIV and the stigma associated to it. I want to get to a stage where I'm not having to explain that if you take 1 pill a day and you're positive, you become undetectable. And if you're undetectable, you can't pass it on to anyone. It is far worse not knowing than knowing. It is far worse slowly dying than taking a pill a day and living. And we've got the drugs and we've got the tools in our powers now to allow everyone to live safely and happily. And so those who don't know, get tested, get treatment. It will be okay. It is okay. That's what I want them to know. And I want those who are on treatment, undetectable, untransmittable, like people like myself, I want them to know that we're in this together and we're going to survive. As a community, we're going to live beyond this disease. It's not going to contain who we are.